So, hi, my name is Rhea. I am the Executive Fellow here at the Pharmacy Technician Certification Board. I'm really happy to have one of the technicians that I've gotten the chance to work with during my rotational career as a pharmacy student. But before we get to that, I just wanted to give a little bit of background about myself. So before I attended pharmacy school, which I graduated from a year ago, I was also a certified pharmacy technician for about a year before I transitioned to pharmacy school. So being a technician and now working as a pharmacist with technicians in the community setting is something that's really dear to me. And so I'm happy to have one of my technicians that I gotten a chance to work with during my rotation, Corina. You want to introduce yourself and just, let us know how long you've been a certified pharmacy technician and where you work.
Well, my name's Corina Rosso. I've been a PTC certified technician for a little over 18 years now. I got certified in 2003. I work at an independent in Williamsburg, Virginia. I helped open that store, pilot that store. So we've been in business now 2.5, almost close to 3 years in another couple months. It's been super fun. I'm a mom of 4, just out here.
Awesome. Yeah, so you're busy, and that independent pharmacy is one place that I've learned so much. I've never had a rotation at an independent before, so going there is just a different perspective for me for community setting, and being really involved with the patients was something that you guys did, and I really enjoyed. One of the things as when I was a technician and now as a pharmacist, I don't think I've always wanted to go into pharmacy because I didn't really know much about it until I got a job at a place that had a pharmacy in it. And so I was like, okay, well, pharmacy is kind of cool. Maybe this is something I wanted to do. So I just want to know, is pharmacy something that you always knew that you wanted to go into?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
Actually, so my oldest sister, who's also like my role model, and my uncle, who I was close with growing up, they both were pharmacists. My uncle owns a long-term care facility pharmacy, and he services a lot of the nursing homes in northern Pittsburgh area. And my sister's a pharmacist, but she's been practicing forever. And I just always kind of was fascinated with things like that and how stuff worked. So I did. When I graduated high school, I just knew I was going to be a pharmacist. And and then I landed in technician and just didn't want to go anywhere else.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah, I think also if I had the background of being around a whole bunch of pharmacists, I would have probably felt the same way. Like, yeah, I'm definitely going to go into pharmacy. Being that you work at an independent, but even before that, like in other settings that you worked in, what do you enjoy most about working in the pharmacy?
Honestly, now that I work in an independent, I can say my favorite part about working in pharmacy is compounding. It's awesome to compound and make things from scratch and just be like part of the process. I've always told people, while sometimes, my job drags you down, whatever, I love what I do. The base of what I do, knowledge about medication, things like that. I love that.
Awesome. Yeah. And as I mentioned, compounding was something that I really got to learn when I was on my rotation with you, especially packaging some of these medications for patients. Mm-hmm. But hi, Roshell. Thanks for making it. How are you?
Hello.
I was just talking to Corina, and she just, she introduced herself to me, and I just really wanted to know if she always knew she wanted to work in pharmacy and what she enjoys most about working in the pharmacy. Roshell, if you could just, say your name and then just let us know how long you've been a technician.
Hi, my name is Roshell Wallace, and I have been PTCB certified since 2010. But I will say I didn't start out thinking I wanted to be in pharmacy because I'm also an LPN. So I've always did nursing. I did nursing way before. I was like, I did nursing for so long. It was time for my body to just kind of like, I need a new profession. It was a lot. So that's when I ended up coming as a cashier. And that was because I was in a tech program and I needed that on-hands training. So I took advantage of that. And then I went and I got certified to become a technician.
So do you work as an LPN still? Do you work as an LPN and a CPhT? Wow. So are you working part-time at both places, or is one of them your full-time job?
The nursing thing is only PRN, so they only use me as needed, which they've called me back because of these COVID shots. So they need more help with those and stuff. So, yeah, I just can't completely give nursing up.
Makes sense. Yeah. And so, I just wanted to know also, what do you enjoy most about working in the pharmacy? You've been a technician for a while now. So over the last so many years that you've been a technician, what do you enjoy the most about working in the pharmacy?
At the end of the day, it's still helping people. I have a lot of customers that I love. So we just had a guy that came in, and he's been a customer for us for a while. So it's definitely still been able to help customers and, dealing with like the different medications. We don't do as much compounding there, but it's always just like, it's still a learning curve. At the end of the day, I do love my job. Out of 10 good customers, you're going to get that 1 or 2 bad customers. But at the end of the day, it's satisfying when you do help somebody. It really is.
Yeah, and I can agree with that, especially like when you have a customer that's been coming to your pharmacy for years and all of a sudden they're coming and you already know what they need a refill on. And so and they just become so appreciative of that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, it's just, that is something nice about community, I will say that. So since you've both been certified and you've both been technicians for a long time, how has the role of pharmacy technicians changed in the community setting? Like in your opinion, like what do you think has changed, especially what you guys do day to day? Like,
I mean, are we being honest or are we giving the stock answer?
Be honest, seriously.
So, I mean, as the role of pharmacy technician, we've been asked to do more and more and more and more and more and get paid less pay. If we're being honest.
Right.
I mean, I'm one of those people that I like to strive for excellence. So I'm the one that wants to get the higher PTCB license just for me because I want it. I mean, I've seen pharmacy change so much. I mean, when I started in 2003 to now, I mean, the role of the pharmacist has changed.
Yeah, and you're definitely right. It has definitely changed. And I haven't been a technician as long as you both have, but I definitely can see where I started from. And to now, like technicians are immunizing, right? Which I think is amazing. But with the role of technicians changing, like especially now during COVID, like what is one thing that you hope to see continue once COVID-19, this pandemic is over and we are back to somewhat whatever we call the new normal? What do you hope to see? Yeah,
for me personally, Corina. I feel like not all pharmacists, but some pharmacists think that like the role and people just in general think the role of like pharmacy technician isn't important. Like we're not legit healthcare workers. We're not, essential to making the role of pharmacy work. But I think that COVID has kind of helped, especially now that we're immunizing and we're doing all of these things, people are recognizing maybe our profession as being more serious. I hope that going forward, the role of pharmacy technician will be more recognized as a role that is taken seriously, whether that be higher education to get into the, to be a technician, better pay, whatever the case may be. But I hope that it continues to be a situation where we're taken more seriously in our profession and to everybody across the board, customers, pharmacists, everybody.
Yeah, and I can agree with that. It's not easy being a technician, but let me tell you, I'm so happy that you both are technicians out there and making a difference. And, working with the pharmacists, we value our technicians, especially the ones that you work with, that you're valued because there's a reason why, you come back there and you work with the same people. But I can definitely see what you're saying. I also want to ask, how has your role changed since COVID-19 started? Like, I know that you're both probably picking up more shifts and working more and taking on more tasks, but what else have you guys been doing? Have you guys been compounding more? Did you guys get to start immunizing, running COVID tests? Like, what are some tasks that you guys are doing?
I know Rochelle's probably been more immunizing. My role's just basically been like a business type role, making appointments, making sure I get insurances, making sure I'm doing all of that backdoors kind of stuff. Because we have, as you were our intern at one point, we have tons of interns that are immunizing. So it's not really a need for me to do that. Been doing all of the backdoor stuff, but Rochelle can talk about the front door stuff.
I'm doing the immunizations and even like with Corina, like doing the billing and all that. So it's crazy because like I'll be at drop off trying to make sure it goes through, trying to make sure we got their insurance situated. And then I got to go down and I got to, prepare the shot, get the shot, give them the shot, So yeah, it's definitely still a lot more that we're doing now with COVID. And it's kind of funny because they're even now talking about us being able to give the flu shots, and I'm just like, oh, here we go with this, can we get over COVID first, So yeah, it's a lot, especially like with us, we do these mass clinics, You know, it's almost like I think the last clinic I went to, we did 3,800 shots. It was a lot, you know.
Wow.
So yeah, it's crazy to be doing all that in one day, and you never know what part you're going to. Now that they know that the technicians can do the immunizations, they'll easily pull you off the door from taking people in to, okay, now we need you to do the immunizations. And I'm like, okay, like, where do I go next?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So with this immunization, right? With this immunization, with this billing, how are you both making sure you still get your tests done?
Girl, that is a task. Let me tell you.
Yeah, because not everybody is dedicated. I mean, you have to delegate tasks, because if you don't, like, you're downhill. Like, it really is. I mean, I know Corina them is like more of like a smaller pharmacy, like a, you know, more home pharmacy. So I don't even see how they do it without, like, a given day. If I don't have 4 or 5 people, I know we're not gonna make it. You know, and it's sad to say it, but I'm like, we're not gonna make it. We're only doing 25, sometimes like maybe 45, 50 shots in store. But like with them doing 100 and so, I'm like, how in the world do y'all do it? And it was only 2 pharmacists in a tech, you know.
Roshell knows I'm very meticulous, and Rhea, you probably know too. Whenever you came to my store, like, so it was a situation when we were doing 100. I'm like, okay, Jade, you're our immunizing pharmacist. Henry, you're our checking pharmacist. You're our pharmacist. I'm like, I will run to and from cars to get these people their cards, do all the billing. And then Nicole, you're going to be the one focusing on filling. We'll all answer the phones. I mean, you kind of have to set the roles like that in the beginning. Otherwise, it goes, there was no way we would have been able to do 100.
Yes.
And I think that's really important. Like, yeah, delegating, but also knowing what to delegate to who, right? That is definitely an important skill that someone needs to have, and especially because you guys are both lead technicians. I mean, it's great that you both are able to do that. And so what's your advice for a technician or someone who's looking to become a technician? What's your advice for them to start their career?
You have to be able to multitask. Like, that's a given. Like, my thing is, if you can't multitask and still, like, interact with customers and stuff, you're not gonna make it. It's gonna be hard. It's okay that you have to answer the phone and put them on hold while you have a customer in your face, but if you can't do that interaction and know, like, you can't just stay at drop off, you can't just stay at fill, like, you have to know the flow and be able to multitask. For me, you know, it's a given. Like, and you have to have some kind of organization. Organization for me is like key. I might not be organized at home, but in the pharmacy, you have to be organized. So that's like a given for me as well. Multitasking and being organized. It's a must.
Or I say that all the time at work. Like, at my house, I'm a mess. Okay, I can't keep my life together. But at work, it needs to be order. But my thing too is, I think that a lot of people have that misconception that pharmacy is easy. That they can just come back there and have a cakewalk. You can be on carpet and air conditioning, you know, whatever, and it's just super easy. Right. And I don't think that they realize how mentally taxing it is on a daily basis, because not only are you worried about keeping customers happy, making sure you get the correct order, because I'm one of those technicians. I'm not going to be like, oh, well, that's the pharmacist's job. No, that's my job first. So, you know, making sure that all of that, your brain is going do all day long. And I think that a lot of people get a rude awakening when they get there. They're like, oh, I thought that it was just I see you guys laughing all the time. I thought it was just fun and giggles. We're like, no, that's what we do to keep ourselves sane. It's really hard.
Yeah, no, that is definitely some good advice. And one thing I can also think of is being able to work on a team, right? It's not, you know, it's not just you, right? Because even when you leave, you have to pass on whatever's not done, or, you know, give updates to whoever's coming in next. So definitely being able to work on a team. But that is some good advice that you guys both gave. Thanks for that. But then also I want to ask, there's some technicians now that are probably starting to take on some work related to COVID-19, right? Maybe they haven't before, and now they are, like, they're pharmacists or their pharmacies delegating them to run COVID tests. So what is your advice for these technicians that are taking on these new roles? How do they remain sane and get the job done?
I mean, I think it's so important. And this is something that I struggled with in the very beginning for managing my stress level, just in general terms. You have to know that you can't do everything, and you won't be able to do everything. And not everybody is going to work like you work. So like as soon as you recognize that, and you just know that you do what you have to do, and you delegate what you can, and you worry about that, then your life is so much easier. You're able to say, okay, I did the best that I could do today. Yeah, tomorrow might be a little bit rough. Yeah, I worked to the top of my license. Tomorrow might be rough, but hey, we're in it to win it. And also, I think it's really important for people, this too shall pass. So COVID is really big right now. We're really stressed. I've worked long nights. I've worked on Sundays, all this, but I feel like even if it becomes a situation where COVID shots are having to be every year, as COVID tests become more, available and it's more normal, it's not going to be this thing that like we have to do. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be just another, just like filling 5 prescriptions.
Exactly. So what do you predict the future of pharmacy technicians is going to be? Where's it going?
I feel like the role of pharmacy technician is going to be more and more and more. And it's almost like they're setting it up to be a situation where technicians only need one pharmacist for 6 technicians, basically. The pharmacist is going to be the one counseling, and that's all they do. Techs are going to check. We're going to verify. We're going to give shots. And so I think that it's going to be a situation where our role is only going to grow. And we're going to be basically running the pharmacy.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I definitely think the role of pharmacy technicians is going to grow, and it's going to continue growing, right? Because like I mentioned, when I became a PTCB CPhT, I was doing the tasks that I was doing before I was certified. But now I see my technicians doing everything that I can besides counsel. So I think it's like amazing, the growth that I've seen that technicians are taking. So I applaud you both. Thanks. So before we get done, I want to ask some quick fire questions, and I want you to just tell me the first thing that comes to your mind, okay? So what's your favorite snack while working?
Salt and vinegar peanuts or cheese stick.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that, I don't know what it was, but mine was always peanut M&Ms, or either like the cheese sticks. Like when me and Corina worked together, it was like we could see that side eye and be like, cheese stick time, and it was always cheese stick and peanut M&Ms. Like, we ready for this. Especially on them stressful days.
Okay, my favorite snack while working. Okay, honestly, the Harvest Cheddar Sun Chips. I don't know, I could just eat those straightforward, and then with a root beer. Because if I don't have any caffeine in the middle of my day, that means I'm not having a good day. And so that is actually my favorite snack.
Girl, I didn't know
we could do it.
Diet Dr. Pepper.
Oh, go ahead, tell me. What are your favorite? What do you like to drink while you're working? You like water? What is it?
No, I drink Diet Dr. Pepper. First, I have to start my morning off with a coffee. Otherwise, customers don't want to see me. Neither does Henry or Jake. And then Diet Dr. Pepper pretty much all day. I usually try to drink at least 2 cups or 2 things of water, but Diet Dr. Pepper keeps me going.
Yeah, that caffeine. I told you, Roshell, what's your favorite drink while you're working?
It's either that. I have to have my coffee first thing in the morning. I don't care if it's hot, cold, lukewarm, whatever, but I have to have my coffee in the morning or we don't make it. And then, I'm all over Diet Dr. Pepper throughout the day, and I'll try to get my water in. But, if we don't have coffee, we're not having a good day.
Okay, so my next question. If PTCB was a car, what kind of car would it be? And to help you out, let me go first because I thought about this already. If PTCB was a car, I'm just going to give a make. It's going to be a Toyota because these cars last forever and it takes a lot for them to break down. So they have a lot of strength and courage. And so I've come up with that answer because I think PTCB offers, all these credentials for technicians to further their careers. And so just like the cars can go far, PTCB can go far. You guys like that?
Oh my gosh, Rhea, can you think of my answer?
Go ahead. Come on, tell me. What do you think?
I don't know. See, I'm thinking like a big car. I'm thinking like a Hummer because there's so much that comes with this. Like, and I don't know. I feel like it hits hard sometimes. It has to be like a hard hitting type vehicle for me.
You got a lot of options though with the Hummer. Ooh, I like that.
Right?
You got a lot of options.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just very bold and big. Like we might have started off as a Honda, but we've grown to a Hummer.
Yes.
Exactly. Right?
Yeah,
right. And Corina, don't think I forgot about you.
Girl, I am going with Roshell. Look, I added on to both of yours.
Okay.
I don't really know.
Okay. Okay. I see it because now that we start off with the entry level, the CPhT credential, and now we have all these certificates that we offer with the billing and reimbursement, like Corina, you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
We have immunization administration, technician product verification. I get it. I love that. Okay. One more question. If PTCB was an animal, what kind of animal would it be? And we're gonna give this to Corina first, Roshell, because we're gonna take her answer, right?
That feels rude. That feels rude.
Let's give this to her first.
Maybe like a let's just go with a cat. Any cat. I don't know. You start as a kitten, you're growing, you get older, a little bit wiser, but then you have to have those 9 lives just in case you get killed on a daily basis. So those 9 lives are important. I don't know. That's what I'll go with.
That was great.
But you usually always land on your feet with PTCB.
Yes. I'll take that. Them 9 lives, we need them.
Girl.
Did you die though?
I know, right?
All right. Well, on the floor of being a cat, I'm going to say a cheetah, right? Because it's following the pace that the technician profession is moving. So I think as it's keeping up. PTCB is keeping up with what's required for our technicians. So we have the immunization administration certificate that we have, and technicians are immunizing right now, right? And then they see the value in like billing and reimbursement or hazardous drug management, right? So I think it's definitely on the roads of a cat. So I like that. Good job.
Yeah.
Good job, Corina.
Started small, now we're growing.
Exactly. Well, I just want to thank both of you guys for spending some time with me tonight with our conversation and giving a little bit about your background and, helping out some future pharmacy technicians, even some of those that are looking to change their careers to become a technician, or, some of them that have been technicians for years. It's really nice to hear from some active pharmacy technicians out there and how you guys are surviving, right? So,
Thanks.
thanks.
I just want to say that I feel super honored, Rhea, that I've ever got to meet you, because you are probably one of the top 3 students we've ever had come through our doors. I love you. You're spectacular. And B, it's just an honor to be able to be a voice, because you oftentimes feel that nobody hears your voice. And so it's just nice to be a voice for those thinking about going in, and I'm honored that you asked us to be that voice. So thank you.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons why I chose you both, because I knew that you guys would be honest. And Roshell, I'm like, Corina, so I know there's nothing but honesty that's going to come from you. So I was like, you guys are like perfect for this.